Welcome back to Athletic Everyday, day number 172. Found myself a gym up here in Aberdeen. This one was really cool. It's like a two-story gym. They've got a downstairs free weights area. Then upstairs they've got like their resistance machines and their like cardio machines. And what I found really cool about this gym is that they have a lot of very similar equipment. So the brand of equipment that they use in this gym is called Techno Gym, and that's the same equipment that I have in my work gym back at home. So, it's nice to have sort of that familiarity with the equipment. And Techno Gym, they do make high-end stuff. It's like the most expensive gym equipment you can get on the market. And, it's generally considered amongst gym owners that Techno Gym is like the best equipment because it doesn't break. Yes, it's expensive, but it doesn't break and it lasts a really long time. Anyway, enough about equipment. What I decided to do today was an upper body day. I feel like that full body workout that I did the other day, completely threw off like my training schedule. So now like my upper body and my lower body are kind of fatigued. So it's like, which one do I decide to actually train? So getting the most out of this workout, I figured that my upper body would have been a lot less fatigued than my lower body would be today because I did that lower body sort of jumping and flipping workout. But one thing that I completely underestimate every single time that I do any kind of backflip or somersault or anything that requires me to pull my knees up under force, with momentum, I have to use my lower abs and my hip flexors a lot. The next day, if I haven't done the flips in a long time, my lower abs are absolutely on fire. Like I'm talking like the bottom two of the six pack. If you have like a full, imagine like the six pack, you have the top two, middle two, and then the bottom two. The lower abs, that area is absolutely on fire the next day because it's just been used so much. If you think about what the lower abs and the hip flexors have to do and how heavy the legs are, and how much force they have to exert on the top end of that lever just to be able to pull the legs up and over, like to pull the knees up into a tuck, it is quite a lot of force, especially if you're spinning quickly. Like the faster you spin, the more force they have to exert to pull the legs over. Otherwise, if you don't have the legs coming over, then you won't reduce the size of the moment arm as you're spinning, and then you won't spin over as fast. So if you want to tuck, if you tuck hard on a backflip, then you will pull up a lot faster. But the reason I noticed it today is because I was doing a lot of movements that would require a great deal of lower abs. So for example, front levers here, muscle ups, they require you to hold either a hollow body position or at least a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt. So you have to pull that pelvis up towards your rib cage. Felt it really quite tough, quite strongly in my abs. But this wasn't even the worst one. The worst one was the weighted pull-ups that I did later. I did a sort of, I guess you could say it was like a kind of neutral grip, but with a little bit of supination, that sort of V-shaped grip. So I guess the sort of lat pull-down equivalent would be that sort of V-bar attachment or the V-shaped attachment. I did pull-ups with that grip, and oh my God, when I was pulling with the weight, because the weight's hanging around your waist, and you have to still try and maintain a little bit of a hollow body position, that stretch you get across the front of your abs, I felt that so hard in my lower abs, it was insane. And I remember when I was younger, like lower abs always seemed to be the area that was most difficult to train because I was trying to train them with sit-ups and leg lifts, but you're just not going to get the same amount of stimulus that you would as if you were doing something more dynamic like a flip or some kind of sprinting, because of the speed and the momentum that your leg has to be pulled through in front of your body with. It increases the amount of force and torque that's actually placed upon that muscle that a leg raise is just never going to get for you. You'd have to do thousands and thousands of leg raises in order to get the same stimulus on that region of the body when you could just do sprinting. Sprinting to me seems a lot easier and it has a lot more benefits than just doing hours and hours of leg raises, in my opinion. So after the front levers were not going well today, I did some handstand holds and then some pike push-ups. This setup here for pike push-ups was quite cool actually because it replicates doing a handstand push-up on the floor because you're pushing off a flat surface with your hand as opposed to like a neutral grip parallel bar. I think there's merit to both, but I think it is useful to mix it up and get a bit of both. So you get used to pushing with a flat hand and also pushing with like a fist neutral grip. But overall, yeah, these went well. Range of motion was good. I felt like on a few of the reps, I was actually getting my head quite close to the floor, which means I'm getting a good stretch across my delts. When I push out of that hole, I generally do tend to favor on my right side, which is very similar to overhead press. And because I've got such a long spine and a long torso, it's very easy for my back to sort of lose that hollow body position, lose that core tension. So you'll see here, I sort of start to arch my back a little bit, but as I get stronger and stronger pushing overhead and get that overhead pushing movement a lot stronger, I will be able to put less and less pressure on my feet and start putting more and more on my hands. I want to get to the point, strength in this particular movement pattern, this overhead pushing pattern, where I can push my body weight for reps on a wall. The only thing that will be limiting then at that point is balance. And then when I do that in combination with the static holds, I should be able to sort of smoothly transition from doing a handstand hold where I can hold it for like 10-15 seconds to then be able to do like frog stand into a handstand push-up or like a handstand press from the floor. That would be, the sensible way to go about it if you really want to get good at handstands. You wouldn't just train statics and dynamics individually, you train them both together and then you get good at both. Get good at overhead pressing, or get good at overhead stability, and then, handstand static holds. And then also the combination of those two, I think they'll sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? They'll dovetail nicely with each other. That's what I was trying to say. So yeah, then moving into these weighted pull-ups, I probably could have done a lot heavier today had my lower abs not been hurting so much. I think at this point in the workout, like they were just like completely roasted, and I wasn't able to maintain that stability with my core. So I was trying to pull with my arms, but then my legs were sort of not able to maintain the same position. I wasn't able to maintain the same position with my core to keep my pelvis tucked up and under. So I worked up to a top set of 35 kilos here. So this is what you're watching right now. And I only managed to get 4, but on this grip, like in the past, I probably would have gotten a lot more. In fact, I've gotten a lot heavier than 35 on this, but that just goes to show that fatigue is, it is what it is. Probably got about 4 or 5 hours of sleep, maybe even 6 hours of sleep last night. So I'm not complaining. I wasn't expecting this workout to be perfect, but overall it was a great workout. And, I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. So then after this, I did an AMRAP with 20 kilos. I think I managed to get 7 or 8 reps. I can't remember, I'm gonna have to go back and count. And yeah, again, I would have probably got a lot more had I been more rested and been a bit fresher for this workout, but still got the workout in, and that's what I'm happy about. Then I moved into the final part of the workout for upper body. I did some like rear delt / upper back strengthening flies, I guess you'd call these. I have no idea what these were called. Bench supported, chest supported rear delt flies. I just did 2 sets and the last set to failure, and then I did the same thing with the lateral raises or loo raises or full lateral raises, whatever you want to call them. Did these pretty much to failure. I did a nice lightweight. This is literally just 5 kilos in each hand. You don't need a lot. It's just accessory work to get a little bit of work on those smaller muscles, i.e. the deltoids and upper traps. And then I finished up with a little bit of grip training. I don't know what that thing's called. I think it's called Rolling Thunder or something like that. The grip trainer, but yeah, just a little bit of forearm volume, work on my grip strength while I don't have my rice bucket while I'm away. And then just some quad isometrics, make my knees feel good from all the jumping I did yesterday. And obviously you can never ever waste a pump. I feel like this channel is turning into a bit of a thirst trap with the thumbnails, but screw it, if it gets me more views, who cares? Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video today, and I will catch you in the next one. Please don't hesitate to leave a comment if you've got any questions, and yeah, all right, see you later.